If you don't speak too often on live stream, please participate. We like hearing you.
Hi.
Hello. We're doing an event called Precious Metals. We're just now starting. If you'd like to listen.
I would love to. Please explain it to me.
Yeah, so Precious Metals Takeover is an event that lasts 2 hours, and basically, the people who don't speak as often on live stream, this is designed to try and get them out of their shell a bit. So, usually we start with a question, we ask a few people, and then we get the ball rolling.
Are we gonna go cam? Can we go? Why? Can we go? Can we all go on cam?
No.
Why not?
Camera access is limited in live stream.
But why not? Don't you think it would bring us closer?
I'm gonna
just to moderate as a moderator. 2 seconds.
Wait, I'm being serious. Wait.
I'm answering your question, and so that I don't wait. I'm answering your question. Your very serious question. So the answer to that is this is a very large Discord. Every other room has video access. We're not chained to this live stream. This live stream has specific parameters. One of them excludes video access. That's just how it is. If you want to get closer with other people, you can go into many of the other rooms, which we all do often. Thank you.
Can I please state my case now? Thank you.
Can I finish my intro, please?
Okay, yeah. Okay, yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the question for this week, Redford, and I'll start by asking you. If you could only... So, I know this is kind of a cheesy question. I would love to see mods answer in like the live stream voice text as well to hear their take. If you could only have wisdom or physical strength, which one would you pick and why? And when I say only, I mean only. So like you're very weak and frail and fragile if you pick wisdom. And if you pick physical strength, you have an IQ of like 70.
Oh no. I know, because I haven't had a ton of time to think about this, the answer to this question, but I think I mean, hypothetically, right, balance of both would be obviously the best, but I think I'd pick wisdom over physical strength. Just because, like, I understand, like, physical strength is obviously important, but just the realm that we live in and just, I guess, the metaphysical aspect of everything and just the way that I think and, well, being in this server in general, I guess I would pick wisdom.
Yeah, I would pick wisdom as well because I'm already frail. If someone punched me, I would have like 5 bones broken. I'm like so weak.
Yeah. Well, it's a good question. It is a thought-provoking question for sure. I like Elijah F's answer. I'm going to read it. Hopefully that's okay.
Yeah,
Wisdom
that's fine.
because he stated wisdom because strength with I wonder if that's a typo. Okay, so wisdom because strength with be would not be mentally unfulfilling. Holy, am I having a hard time here?
He chooses wisdom because strength would be mentally unfilling. He doesn't know what to do with strength. So what would he do with strength?
Will be mentally unfulfilling. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's gone. What would I do with strength if I don't know what to do with it? Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
I would go as far to say that true strength is found in wisdom because, well, once again, what are you going to do with anything if you don't know what to do or how to do it?
Also, I should mention real quick, these hypotheticals are fun because they're an introduction to the false dichotomy fallacy, but still fun nonetheless.
I was just reading the voice text. Yeah, there are some good answers. So, is there... I mean, we can... If anybody else wants to answer right now, I'm just going to check and see if there's any VC verifieds. We'll see maybe if Layla wants to have a conversation about the shape of the Earth.
Yeah, we can do that after we call them like maybe one or two silvers that maybe don't speak too often that we would like to hear their voice of.
Yes.
Like maybe B. Carl's or Michael Miguel Sosa. I'm so sorry. My vision's like fuzzy. Like, you know when you first wake up and you see like floaties in your yeah. I'm
yeah,
so
no,
sorry.
I mean, I had a struggle just reading Elijah's comments, so I think I'm in the same predicament as you today, CI, and I've been up for a few hours, so it will be a fun show. Okay, so B. Carl's or Miguel Sosa, would you guys like to answer the question if you guys can unmute your mics?
I don't mind answering it. The wisdom? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so if you could have only wisdom or physical strength, which one would you pick and why?
So I've actually been thinking about this for like 2 weeks. It's odd enough that you brought it up when people said like knowledge is power. But this kind of ties in with what you're saying, because you can know a lot, but if you don't apply it to anything, then it just sits in your head all day. And what good is it? So I think I'd pick strength.
Interesting.
Although you might not be able to do as much, you can do a lot more than just having a head full of knowledge and not being able to do anything with it. If that makes sense. I think applied knowledge is the best, but obviously you wouldn't get that if you have no strength.
Yes. No, that's awesome. Thank you for answering. Miguel, are you there? You're lighting up, but no sound is coming out of your mic. Okay. What about Tap? Are you there, Tap?
I was here.
Or might be Tap, allegedly Tap, however you want to be called today. So what would you pick? Wisdom or physical strength?
Well, there are two ways of looking at this. You know, you could say, you know, how would you know what to do with physical strength? You know, like what would you do with physical strength if you didn't know how to use it, right? That is a good, I guess, statement. But I mean, really and truly, in the society we live in today, if I have physical strength and a lot of physical strength, you know, and anyone tries to say, "Oh, you're so stupid," right? I can just punch them in the face, right? That's fine.
Is it fine? Physical violence? I don't know.
It is. If anyone tries to ridicule me for being stupid, right, I'll just, you know.
But if you had the wisdom, you could just destroy them with your words, Tap.
I don't know. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Actually, I hate to interject. I said wisdom, not charisma.
Right.
But maybe charisma is wisdom. Ooh, new debate topic.
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, debate it out. Should we go into the arena? No, I'm just joking.
No. Who else can we talk to? What about, like, maybe people who aren't silver, but, like, still have the Flat Earth tag? Because we don't get to hear them too often.
Yeah, like, I don't think I've spoken to Chris V. Peace. Are you there, Chris?
Nice picture.
Can you... well, you've unmuted. Okay. Well, Chris, if you can, get your mic to work at some point, let us know. Who else do we have? Ryan, done. Are you there, Ryan? Or Flat Tarn? Can you unmute your mic?
Hello.
Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Good.
Good. Would you like to answer a question for today?
It's a tough one.
I know, it's quite thought-provoking. Gets you thinking.
Like, should I be Stephen Hawking, all the knowledge, and just be a blob? Or like The Rock? I don't know.
Sorry, I thought I heard somebody say crispy peas, but I had to sign off real quick.
Oh,
Yes. I was actually calling on you to see if you wanted to answer a question. But it was
Wisdom
Ryan.
or strength?
Yes. I just
don't
want to
know.
see if. Okay. Well, Ryan, did you have anything else to add to your answer?
I don't know. It's a tough one.
I know. It's just hypotheticals.
Yeah, I guess I'd just pick strength because I don't know. I feel like that'd be more fun.
Interesting. So just more fun. That sounds good. What about you then, Chris?
I don't know. It begs the question is, if you can gain strength, can you gain wisdom? I don't know. I think I'd pick wisdom just because you could gain strength in some form. You okay, baby? What's wrong?
But you can only have. Oh, awesome. But you can only pick one or the other, right? Just one or the other. That's where it gets tough, right?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now? Well.
Oh, hey, Miguel. Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. I just restarted my PC.
Seems like everybody's having some issues today. So, if you could have only wisdom or physical strength, which one would you choose and why?
Wisdom, because that makes me awake for the reality we're living in, like Flat Earth.
Ooh, yeah. That's kind of why I picked wisdom too. That's a good answer.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah, who was that?
Is a person.
Hey, person.
Hi. With the strength, does that mean that your whole body gets bigger, or just like your muscles?
CI, please specify for your question.
Sorry, I was typing in live stream voice text. What was that? Sorry.
A person wanted to know, right, if you got physically larger due to the strength. Is that what was part of your question?
Well, that is a side effect with exercising and having muscles. You typically do.
No, I mean, yeah, that's what I was saying. Is it just your muscles, or does your whole body get bigger?
It's pretty much just your muscles, but you are physically stronger. It doesn't necessarily correlate with increase in size. It's just having a lot of strength, but having the IQ of like 60 or 70, or having the IQ of like 150 or 200, like being extremely wise, intelligent, but you're like as frail as Stephen Hawking, or like someone touches you, you're like shattered like glass. Okay, not that fragile.
Gotcha. So you're saying if you were like average on the scale, average, it wouldn't help out with that?
That's not what I said.
Oh, okay.
You would be like muscular, like strong, big. Well, by big I mean the muscles, though. But muscles typically correlate with larger size. But not always. It depends on the person. But typically when you exercise, you do get bigger. So this is like having like a bunch of exercise like applied at once.
Without actually doing the exercise, it would just like happen, right?
Yes.
Is that what the hypothetical is? Okay. So if I picked wisdom, I'd just be this fragile being.
But you would be like
And I'd
Blaise
be-
Pascal of intelligence and wisdom.
Basically, like Stephen Hawking's versus Dwayne Johnson.
Well,
Yeah. I don't really want to get into Stephen Hawking because that's a whole other issue.
Yeah,
But
Is it really him controlling the words? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you get what I'm
Could it
saying.
be allegedly? Maybe. Probably not. Okay. We have a few people that popped in.
I think maybe we can talk.
Kangaroo.
Maybe we can talk to Layla. I don't know.
Oh yeah, she's unmuted. Hi, Layla. Right there.
Hi.
Hi. So, what brings you to the server?
For healthy debates.
About the shape of the Earth?
Yes.
Okay, so what shape do you think the Earth is?
Flat. I think. So I had not an argument, but as we would say, a healthy debate the other day. I think it's like a laptop shape. Like it's flat, but I'm Australian, so I think it's still. I think we're still on the bottom of it, if that makes sense. Like I think.
no. I'm sending her to Cogdis. I'm sorry.
All right.
That was quick. Wow.
Yeah, but live stream voice text. I'm sorry, but
No, you don't have to apologize. That's you are able to what you like. Okay, so we have Juju 007. I believe he was here last week. He just messaged me to be unmuted. I'm not sure why. What happened to his roles? See, I don't know if you want to unmute.
wait, who?
Juju? 007.
Oh.
Do you remember
yeah.
he was like into like the philosophy? We had a good chat with him last week.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what happened to the roles of anybody.
So sorry, who were we talking about?
Juju, he was on Precious Metals before.
Yeah.
Not
What is
familiar.
that? Precious Metals?
No,
I
you
don't know.
missed last week. I think he was on
Okay.
last week.
I know people usually active here because sometimes I come here and just quiet, so I don't really know.
It depends on the time. Sometimes it's a little slower, but right now it's pretty active. So welcome back. Glad you made your way back to the server today.
Yeah, I got a little. I just wanted to see like your perspective. I'm not saying it's you, whatever. I'm just throwing this out there, okay? Yeah, you know how we can use what's it called, like radar or like using what's it called? Using like a laser and like it bounce back and it gives you like the size and the shape, whatever it is. What's that thing called? Radar, right?
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. A laser.
Yeah,
Like what does that have to do with the shape? Are you like where is this going?
Oh, I don't know what it's called. I literally just watched it earlier, but I forgot what it's called. But it's like if you shoot something out with like a laser, it comes back, and then you get the reading of the size of it, the shape of it, and so forth. I forgot I don't know what it's called. It left my mind. I don't know what that thing is called. But supposedly, I'm going to look into it myself because I care about following it. But like supposedly a person can do this and shoot it at the moon and shoots back on Earth. And I've heard, again, I'm not claiming it's true or whatever. I'm just putting this on the table. Supposedly that information tells you the size of the Earth and the shape of it and so forth. And I'm just curious if anyone has like a perspective on that. Again, like I don't have like $10,000 to buy it and do it myself, but it is a thing that supposedly can be done. I heard that as like one argument for it being curved. I don't know if it's curved or not, That's just one perspective.
Okay, so does anybody have any insight into that? I mean, I think I might have an idea of what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called. Like I've seen it. It's like maybe on a smaller scale, right? Where it's like a scope and you point it at something and it tells you how far it is away. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about something else?
I'm going to try to find the name of it. But like, it's like, I feel so dumb because like I literally forgot the name of it. But like, it's like, for example, like dolphins, for example, it might be like swimming, it might be dark, and they make a sound. And then with the sound, they're able to bounce it off and then bounce back, and then know exactly the size of it, the shape of it. They know all the information about it. I'm saying that we have this type of technology where we can shoot something out and bounce back. Like yeah.
Oh, sonar. Okay, I was thinking of something else. Okay.
Navy ships, they use it and they know the exact size and etc. I heard, again, I haven't verified it myself, but I heard that people have done this with the moon. They shot at the moon, it bounced back, and they got all the information for Earth or like something like that. I don't know exactly how it works, but yeah. That you can shoot at the moon and it can bounce back on Earth and you get the information. You know anything about that?
Well, regardless if I know anything about that, what's the point? Like, you want to try this? You're trying to prove what? What are you hoping to get out of this?
Well, it was just one argument for why it's like curved or why people believe it's curved. But just here and there, I would just come back once I get more information about it. Also, there's, what do you call it? The space shuttle is, you can get like a telescope and you can see it. No, that I don't think that's a good argument. Never mind.
Okay. All right. So you're trying to find a way to prove that there's curvature, and now you think sonar is a way to do that? Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah, I just forgot the exact. I don't know all the details of it, but yeah, sonar is one way that I've heard that people have been able to confirm it. I'm not saying it 100% has, but that's one possible route.
Right, because don't submarines use like sonar and things like that?
Yeah, they.
Okay, so if they're able to communicate under the water for extensive periods, right, like lengths, how does the sonar get through if there was a curve, the curvature of the Earth, right? How does that make sense?
How does what?
Well, sonar, right? If you're trying to prove it, how can, okay, basically submarines can send out sonar signals to each other underneath the water, right? For long distances.
Oh.
And even Roger just posted that whales can be heard by as far away as 4,000 miles. So how does that work with curvature? How does it go through the curve of the Earth to send those signals, right? Because the curvature of Earth is what, 8 inches per mile squared, right? That would be just the globe model. So how does that work then? Explain that to me.
I need to, something I just thought about, which I didn't think about when I was watching like the videos. Like, if you shoot it at something, you get the reading of that thing. But the video is about how people shoot at the moon and it bounce back on Earth. So I got to look back into that, honestly. Now when I think about it, something isn't really adding up. So yeah, I'll just come back on that.
What do you think about to look into horizon?
What about the horizon?
It's 10 times further than should to be extended.
Wait, what do you mean? Well, the horizon, I personally don't know anything about that.
You know,
another. I'm sorry.
By the way,
sphere is geometrical thing. You shoot a curve, you know, and horizon on the spherical Earth should to be geometrical. But the point is, it is not.
But who's the other person I was just talking to? Who is that?
Me?
No,
Or are you talking to Sasha? You're talking to Sasha now.
Okay, well, I don't know who it was, but I'm
you
not
think
sure.
I'm not allowed to speak or what?
What did you say?
Am I allowed to speak?
Yeah, of course. I was just wondering
Yeah.
who the other person I was talking to was.
Oh.
'Cause I like who I'm speaking to.
No,
think
Sasha. Okay.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is crazy. I don't know if this is why I got muted. Probably because like if I leave the server and then come back, is everyone like automatically muted?
Well, you don't have the VC verified tag, so I don't. No, you do. Oh, okay. So now you're good. So you shouldn't be server muted when you come back in. Now that you have the VC verified role.
Okay, because like the last time I was here, I don't know why it was people. My words weren't really sticking with like a lot of people, and like all I was saying, because I'm like a philosopher and I'm also skeptical. And I was saying like, let's say that it's flat. We prove that it's flat. We prove that we're in like some kind of container. I'm saying is like just like how flat earthers essentially don't.
Do you want proof for container?
No. Like I'm making a case right now. I'm saying,
okay.
Let's say that we have evidence that this was created. That the container is like created. That we have that. We know that it's flat. What I'm saying is just how we can't use fallacies, etc. At that point, all I was saying at the time, and it seemed to get everyone irritated. And I was saying, like, we can't just automatically use fallacies and say, okay, the container was made by God. That's all I was saying.
The only way to move forward is to move forward. If something happened previously in this server, I don't think it's a good idea to really go back to that. For your sake and for everyone else's sake, I don't think it's a good idea to really bring that back up again. I don't know what happened, but I just don't think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, let's just focus on the fact real quick that there's probably like 30,000 people on this server. So don't worry about it. I mean, you can't control all 30,000 people.
Because like all I was saying.
I know, but okay, but it doesn't. Okay, yeah, Sia's right. It doesn't matter. It's best to just leave it. Now, I'm the third person to tell you that, so let's just leave it and continue with the conversation right now, right? Moving forward. So is anybody... sorry, Sia, go.
I'm sorry. I wanted to address one point that he said. So Roger posted a very good link about sonar. And I'm not really here to debate. I'm just here to, I guess, address your claim. 4,000 miles is how far these sonar can be heard from whales.
Okay.
Now, I want you to tell me what the radius of the Earth is.
Let me see. It's a lot more than 4,000 miles. I know that.
No, it's less.
Incorrect. It's 3959 miles. It's less. So, with a drop of 8 inches per mile squared, how does the sonar of the whale go through the curve of the Earth? This is a very similar. This is actually very similar to the Marconi radio observation in 1918.
Okay.
And
I know the answer.
What's the answer?
The whales are, let's say, 3 miles deep in the water. All of them. And because of that, they are hearing sound,
What?
Yeah, this is only assumption. Stupid as
I just realized something. Something I don't really understand is that a lot of people that believe in the flat Earth, they either believe that the moon is fake or that space is fake and so forth.
Okay, well, hang on though. Who? Okay, I haven't made the claim that the moon is fake. I can see it, right? I can see it's a luminary in the sky. I'm not making claims that it's fake or that's. I mean, I can visibly see it. So be careful with what you're saying. Maybe this is why you had problems in the past. Okay.
No, absolutely not. My question is,
And
My statement is
I think he
essentially
means the
only
moon
towards.
landing, but
I don't know who
Let him
is
finish.
talking, but they're kind of
No.
roboting.
My statement was only towards those who hold this position. It's like the thing I was saying, like according to like NASA, etc., the atmosphere includes the moon.
I don't know anybody holds that position though.
Does anybody say that moon doesn't exist?
Like
Hold
it's
on.
like
Did you say the atmosphere encases the moon?
yeah, like according to NASA, that
Yes.
the atmosphere. Yeah.
Did you realize that they only just recently came out with that position?
Right after Flat Earth came out and got big, then NASA
Right.
said the moon's in an atmosphere now.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So just a few years ago, we were hammering on the point that gas pressure needs containment, right? And for about a year we were hammering it down, and then they came out with some sort of press release. Oh, the moon has an atmosphere, and then it's our atmosphere, and it's just extending around it.
Yeah, so it's just there's no problem. It's inside the container.
Yeah, it's inside the container. It's just a gradient. See, this is a new argument that they're going to sew in to
they're
the
actually
history.
telling you the truth.
I get
right. They're going to sew it into history, though, and they're going to pretend like this was their position all along. The same way that they've changed the distance and size of the sun 10 plus times already, and they're going to pretend like, oh, well, this latest version has always been the same version. It's always been fine.
Yeah, like moon was in the space, and now it is not anymore in the space.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, the moon didn't have an atmosphere before. I guess now it does.
No, the moon was in the space vacuum before, and now it's not anymore.
Well, wait. So, my question was never answered. Back when we were talking about sonar, I was asking what the radius of the Earth is, which is 3959 miles. Roger's article shows that whales can hear sonar 4,000 miles away. So how can they hear sonar past the curvature? We're not moving the goalpost to the moon. I don't even know why that was stated. We weren't even talking about the moon. How does the moon correlate to sonar?
Okay, well, back with your thing. I mean, I'm not really seeing a direct issue. Because like
you're a little too far from your mic. I think it's cutting out because of that.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
This is crazy. It's my computer's Mac is bad. I'm not really seeing that it's like really like an issue because it's just.
Sorry, what don't you see as an issue? What's the problem?
He's talking about how whales can hear things like 4,000 miles away, and saying how can he hear?
Right. So you know how sonar works, right? It has to bounce off something. You even said that, right? If you're hypothetically talking about pointing something at the moon, right? I'm not going to bring it back there, but that's just your example. So what we're saying is, how does the sonar go through the curve of the Earth, right? They can communicate for 4,000 miles. That doesn't prove curvature, right?
Wouldn't the sonar bounce off the top of the water, though, also?
I don't think so. Me personally, I don't think it bounces at the top of the water.
Well, like when I look in I look like a fish tank. You can see like reflection off the sides and at the top. If you look up, you can see reflection off the top of the water. I just wondered if sound does the same thing.
I have to look into it. That's an interesting question.
Is anybody taking you through the 3 points, Juju?
No, I just wanted to bring that one thing up. But now when I think about it, I'm gonna do some more research on that particular
curvature. Look more research on curvature. Because if it's something spherical, it should to drop. must have curvature. Any spherical object should have curvature.
Yeah, I agree. You should be spending all of your time searching for that physical measurement. When was it done? How was
Space
it
is fake.
Oh, I mean, saying space is fake doesn't really mean too much because it could be that there's no actual space, but there are planets. It's just like within the atmosphere. So that space.
Space is a second law of thermodynamics violation.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in
Space
terms of that.
cannot exist. Therefore, it is in your imagination. What other words would you like?
Yeah, it's not space we're talking about. Actually, in actuality, we're talking about the vacuum of space. And all we're saying is it cannot exist because it would have to violate numerous natural laws. And the second law of thermodynamics, that's another thing you could research. Try to find out when, if, and how the second law of thermodynamics was ever violated by anyone under any circumstances.
See,
Have you tried to find that?
Look up entropy.
Like, I'm not too worried by that because from my perspective, it could all just be atmosphere, and these planets could be like floating within the atmosphere. So for me,
Atmos
that's
is a gas. Sphere has a shape. Gases have no inherent shape.
So things are just floating?
the atmosphere. I'm saying like that could be possible. I don't know.
Did you hear what Sunny says?
There's no round. Yeah, there's no round gases. Gases don't obtain a round shape anywhere.
I'm trying to talk him out of his dream.
You have to contain gases. Listen. You wouldn't even know gases existed other than a whoosh going by you if you didn't have a container. We wouldn't even know gases existed. We would be just like, oh, the wind's blowing.
It's very simple. Is it air spherical?
Air.
Is it air spherical?
No.
Is the air spherical?
No, not from our direct experience.
Why we then calling atmosphere? Why we call air sphere?
Air sphere.
Why we call air sphere then?
I don't know. Let me try to look into the origin.
It's because they're lying to you.
No, just think about it, bro. You don't have to look anything up. It's just really simple. Is gas a sphere? Does gas ever obtain a sphere or any kind of definite shape?
I mean, not from our direct experience, but under like a scientific
direct
model,
experience.
it has to like gravity and so forth. But I don't really know in terms of that. But for me, space doesn't exist.
Gravity doesn't pull gases. Gases go in all directions.
Gases don't pull. They don't hold each other. They aren't a container. Air doesn't contain air. Gases need a definite size and shape of a container, or else they
solid
do not exist.
Container. Solid.
They can't exist. Yeah, they can't exist.
No,
they just go off in every direction. So that's a good one. But if you look at those two, if you try to find a measurement, a curvature measurement, an actual one, like a physical direct measurement of curvature of Earth, in any times, like without presuppositions, so that Eratosthenes is out, presupposition, can't even be verified, no source data. It's stupid. Like, look for an actual measurement. See when they did that. Then, if you go to that, the gases, there's no way around the second law of thermodynamics, but you could try to find it. I challenge you to go try to find a violation of the second law of thermodynamics from anywhere, anytime, any source. But it has to be empirical, it can't be philosophical or theoretical.
What's your position that planets don't exist, or do you have a position?
No, they're lights in the sky. We all see them. We all, we look up. We all look up to the sky. We all see the same thing when we look up into the sky.
Pictures of the lights too.
We see them, and you know what? The other thing about that is they're moving around us in a cyclical pattern that resets every year. Click right at the very same place, and those stars have done that for all time memorial. Think about that. How could they be in the same place?
If they're ever expanding.
Or if they're spinning in that helical pattern. You have to have these, you have to have the sun spinning around this, whatever.
It should be complete chaos in the sky at all times.
Well, yeah, as the moon or what the sun's moving, we're chasing the sun going through the universe, and this moon's chasing us, right? And we're all in the quote unquote planets, wandering stars are all going like, but yet, yes, the stars align in the exact same spot every single year. I mean, that's got to make you think. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Based on that model.
And based on that fact, you can use that to know what time of year it is, what day it is, and everything. Break it all the way down because everything is the same year after year. Nothing changes.
Okay. I mean, honestly, like I've heard like a bunch of good points from Flat Earth perspective, and honestly, like to keep it real with you, I feel like the more I learn about these things and the more I see how logical the global model is, the more I'm kind of pushed. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna say it. The more that I'm pushed towards simulation theory. I know this is not a group about that, but I'm just putting it on the table. Does anyone else feel the same or no?
No, I'm here.
You have to go into you're kind of going into a realm with quantum physics and thing that is highly theoretical and highly built upon many folds of presuppositions, right?
I say that about quantum mechanics.
Okay, well, it's kind of going along with simulation, but I understand what you're saying when you say simulation.
Yeah,
but
like, I'm just honest with you. It just makes it more and more likely.
Because you don't want Flat Earth to exist. You need your model to be still existing. So the only way it can now exist is in a simulation. That's what's happening in your head.
No, not that. Like, so, like I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying like the more I'm pushed towards, there's a thing called zoo theory or zoo hypothesis, and there's a thing called simulation theory, and of course there's like the God theory as well. So you have these main things.
Well, there's no God theory or simulation here. This is measured flat. We only talk about facts and not theories.
See, if you don't like the idea of there being definite absolutes in this reality, because there are absolutes, and these are governed by very strict, like, regimen of natural laws working with each other in a system that we have here on Earth. It's a highly dynamic system. So, if you by going to simulation, what I kind of think is you're running away from the absolute definiteness of this place we're in, because there is a definite physical part of this, but there's a lot of other things going on that we don't really know anything about, right? But we can look at the surface of Earth and we can determine, is it measuring a curve like they told us? And what we found, and the reason we're still here, is that none of us have found this to be true.
And then to add on to your words,
anyway, we're not moving. Your endolymph in your ear presses against site-specific physical locations that push up against a hair that has a nerve on one side of the hair. That's physical locations that are activating nerves in your vestibular system. So you know whether you're tilting, if you have a 3-degree list to the port, you know it. I'm telling you. Your ears tell you you're born with this system. And so if you want to deny what we're all born with and that aligns with the reality we live in, that actually what our senses are telling us is actually how we measure the Earth to be as well. So you see how the burden of proof is on the globe now? Because I'm not making any definite claims about anything. I don't have to. Reality itself is backing what I'm saying. I don't have to worry about anything else. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to pretend that my senses don't matter. So you can now go along with your own senses and go, shoot, I've been experiencing this flat stationary Earth my entire life. Now, so someone's saying it's curved. Well, they better provide the proof. Let's go look for a measurement. When did they test this theory? When did they measure it?
I mean, the easiest thing to do is, the moon landings were faked, right?
Well, I don't know if it's fake, but there's a lot of reason to believe it's fake. Like a lot of reason. So I'm not saying.
we can just show you the the director and everybody in that movie.
From what I know and all that, there's a lot of reason. A bunch of the pictures are fake. In terms of it actually being fake, I feel like there's a non-zero possibility. There's a huge possibility of it being fake. So that's my
of what being fake?
The moon landing.
Because I lean towards it being fake, but I'm not saying it is fake. I just heavily lean towards it being fake.
So I'm trying to get you to forget about space, because if you think the moon landing was possibly faked, you don't need to worry about NASA right now. You need to worry about finding the curve, because once you realize there is no curve, NASA goes out the window and you won't even think about them anymore.
Because the thing is, like, you look at these pictures that NASA have, you can look at it and you see that all these things are fake. I forgot, there's a guy named Wutang or whatever on YouTube. And
but listen, do you realize though, Juju, that we don't even have to be the ones saying anything. They say it themselves. They admit right on the images, these are composites layered together.
Yeah, we don't have to take them apart or put them in Photoshop to figure it out, except for that one moon one from the 60s or 70s, or the Earth one, Earthrise. But we don't have to do that. They say it at their website and on their pictures in the little tiny print. These are composite images.
You know, like the other thing that makes me more skeptical is, I guess, like after it, NASA was saying that the evidence that we went there is you can bounce something off the moon. But in 1963, somebody already did that prior to anyone, quote unquote, going to the moon. So the thing they said was evidence. Obviously, it was not evidence. So it was like, why are you being disingenuous?
So when they lie, how many times do they have to lie in order for you to not believe them anymore?
No, they lied only about moon and not about Earth. And
I don't understand the loyalty. I don't understand the loyalty to somebody that has been a known liar. Why do you have loyalty to known liars?
Let me ask you a question about that. Does the government lie?
Yes.
So if they lie and we know they lie, there's no reason to believe a liar, especially when we're saying we found all the stuff and they tell you that it's flat at NASA in their aeronautical documents and the military documents. That's the only way they can make a plane fly.
Can I ask you a quick question? What are your thoughts on Space Force? I'm just curious. I'm very curious. What do y'all think about it?
On what?
It's a TV show.
No, it's not. I'm talking about, like the new branch of the military, like it's Army, Air Force, Navy.
Yeah, listen, they have a place like that right down the street from me called Spa War. I wonder what
it's a new branch of the military, though, and I'm curious. Like, do y'all have any thoughts?
Oh, when they asked the new press secretary about it, she laughed because they didn't even know what they were talking about.
Wait. I just want to bring up a point. So, anytime, okay, I don't know how to word this, but basically, anytime we corner you, you change the subject. You did it with sonar. Listen, I don't want to argue. I really don't.
I'm not arguing either.
I don't dislike you. I just want to say, like, with the sonar thing, you dodged it twice, and now when Radwin talked about the NASA documents, you changed the subject to Space Force. I mean,
we agree. We agree on that. We're saying they can't be trusted. Like, we literally agree.
I'm
here's
happy
the thing.
we agree.
I'm sorry.
I just want wait. I'm not here to argue. I'm not going to punish you. I just want to say that it's just we try and stick to one subject and you change it, so it's a little difficult. But I was just going to say, if you want, I could provide some of those NASA documents that Radwin was talking about.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I definitely like to check it. Like,
they're also in the live. They're also in the live voice text too. The video that Sasha put in at 52 minutes. But see, you don't have to worry about what they're doing, actually, Juju, because can they violate the second law of thermodynamics or not? That's the only question you need to ask.
Give me a quick reminder of that one. I'm not familiar.
The second law of thermodynamics says that high pressure always goes to lower pressure. hot always goes to cold. This is something that is just demonstrably, it's objective. It's what happens every single time you test that. It happens exactly the same way every time. You have to have a container to have gas pressure. Otherwise, it goes omnidirectional until equilibrium.
I have I've seen a video where there was gas and it was in a container, but it wasn't closed off. It was that side, so like on the left, right, and
yeah,
the bottom.
they're in two containers, and if the building is in a container like we all are, then there's three containers. So they're in a container, and they're pouring a gas that has a certain density because of its temperature. Did you think about that? What is the temperature of the gas and the temperature of the ambient surrounding air? I need to know that information. Because what that gas does, it's not a natural gas anyway. It flows downward and sits in the bottom of the container until it starts heating up, and then it flows out just like all other gases. Poof.
Okay.
So they're pouring it in a container, big freaking deal. It's not even a natural substance, and it probably is cold. So cold gases go down, like propane in a boat goes down. It's very dangerous in boats because the propane goes down to the bottom of the boat, and if it ignites down there, it's sitting in the bilge. It burns boats to the waterline, literally. So the gas laws are something that you would have to show a violation of the gas laws, and so you don't have to worry about what they're doing. Are you familiar with the military-industrial complex at all?
I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Have you been in the military before?
Yes, I was in for 4 years.
You did for 4 years, but okay, so I worked in civil service too after the military. And I built things for the Department of Defense for a naval undersea warfare engineering station. So if you don't understand how the military industrial complex works, then you need to go do more research on that, because you don't understand the compartmentalization then. Because the packages that we got to manufacture something, you were only allowed to see certain parts of that document of the process that was used to build the specifications of this equipment. You were only privy to the piece of equipment that you were working on. And you had to sign off on it. Quality control had to, there's a strict process, but it's all regimented. It's all industrial. It's all compartmentalized, right?
My dad worked at NASA. He didn't know shit what the guy in the next room was doing.
Yeah, right, Radwin. It doesn't matter what widget you're paid to perform. It doesn't mean you're going to know all the other steps, the engineering, the programming, whatever it is that's involved with the manufacturer of, let's just say, something like a shaft or something.
If it wasn't for my position at work, I wouldn't know what the next guy is doing. Like it used to be 5 years ago, you wouldn't know what the guy in the next room is doing in our building. Nobody does, unless you are, one of the top people that are have groups. So now I know what people are doing because I need to know what's happening on the shop floor at all times. But that's different.
Yeah. So it's all if you're in QC, you don't care what the other people are doing.
No, in QC, you know what they care about? That part that they're looking at.
Just to pass the part based on physical attributes.
It can only to that print and the specs that they have written down.
Mm-hmm. So Radwin and I know quite a bit about this process. So.
Did you have a problem with that system?
Pardon me?
You brought that up. Did you have a problem with that system?
Did I have a problem with that system?
Yeah, because that's what you expect. You would break it off into teams where they only focus on those things. That in itself is not really.
You expect NASA?
No,
why would you expect people at NASA are covering things up then?
Look, when I was on the shop floor, I did my own thing. They gave me projects to do to build something, and I built it. I would take the blueprint, and I would go get the material, and I would manufacture the part they wanted. That's it. So, all I knew was that some of these parts that I was working on already had 1,000 to 2,000 man hours for one piece.
Ouch! Don't mess it up.
Yeah, they gave me the finishing work, which
don't mess it up during finishing.
It sucked.
I've done that before.
You break a tiny little. I know I'm getting off topic. A tiny little tap that my boring machine with an 11,500 pound column bumped into the piece I was working on, breaks it off. You have to eat that out with acid, and then go back and do it again.
My question is, for these companies and so forth, when they do that, do you share information, or is there a policy where you can't talk about it to a person who's not involved in that project?
It wasn't a company. No, I work for the Department of Defense.
So when you're in the Department of Defense, when you work on whatever, and there's a person still working in the Department of Defense, but working on a different piece of whatever, are you you can't talk about it?
No, you can't talk. You're not supposed to be talking about it. Like, you could talk to other people in the shop to find out processes that were happening before me, which I did do that, and I talked with the people on different machines.
I mean, it would make sense.
But it was only in technical matters, like how is the piece conforming with the temperature? Like, once it's machined, like, it'll relax and stuff, so it can change. So, is it still parallel when it's supposed to be, or whatever? Is the radius the right dimensions? It's not it's not lopsided, right? So there's only technical information. That's it.
And I'm saying, I don't know why whoever brought that, because that's not really an issue, because that's for security, safety, and so forth, and that's exactly what you would expect.
Yeah, but so even though I worked in these parts, I didn't know about the homing mechanisms and the fire control systems that they were operating in. I had no need to know that, so everything is a need-to-know basis.
And the guy who made that one board in the firing system, he only made the one board.
Yep. And on down the line, all the way down. Yep.
Because his board needed to maybe be the accelerometer back then.
You would only hear, okay, this board passed, this one passed.
Yeah,
this one passed,
and the other guy made the motor controller boards.
Here's what's wrong with this one. Yep. This one, only a certain chip blew out.
Then the other guy made the actual controller itself. Then the other guy made the CPU.
Yeah.
Okay. And the guy at the end puts them together.
Yeah, I just kind of want to bring it back to Flat Earth, and we do have somebody else that does have a question as well. So Juju, if you want to stick around for a bit, we're going to ask Corrine Nibbler if they want to unmute and ask their question. They said in the chat they had one.
Yeah, I'm not here to debate science or anything, but now I suppose I should say this beforehand. I'm not saying the government can't lie or they won't lie, but I'm just asking
was that Juju? Can you please mute your mic when you're not speaking? We're getting feedback.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I was just wondering on the strategic advantage of this lie specifically. And I know I've heard someone say, oh, well, if they can convince you you're just monkeys on a ball, everything's random and you're insignificant. But I know plenty of Christians, and I'm a Christian myself, who, believe in the globe and, believe in
then you did the Bible, right?
Does it really matter, though, the lie? The fact is that the lie, right? I can't speak for them. I don't know why they're lying. I can make assumptions, right? But then I'm just like them, making assumptions and feeding you BS, essentially, right? I mean, I don't know why they lie. There's a lot of incentives, like money and things like that. But what does that really have to do with the shape of the Earth, right? We can measurably see that it's flat. I can visibly see that it's flat. I can prove that it's flat. So the fact is, it's flat, and they lied, but it's still flat.
Yeah, I suppose so. I just, I try not to concern myself with the science and stuff. So.
Yeah, and I get that, but here we do talk about the facts, right? That's what we can go off of, and yeah, we can talk about hypotheticals, but what's the point, right? We're here to talk about the facts, and that's things that we can actually prove.
Yeah, right.
But I get it. I know, it is something that you think about for sure, but again, it's just all just speculation, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well.
What shape do you think the Earth is? I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Hang on, is my mic making noise?
A little bit of feedback.
I'm sorry.
Sounds like you're rubbing it on a pillow.
I think that's just my shoulder. I'm sorry. Let me try and move the wire. Okay. I'm not really sure what to think, I suppose.
So, what makes you not being able to decide? What proof do you have that of any shape that the Earth is?
Well, the only thing I really had concerned myself with was the reason for the lie. Why, in the first place, there would be a flip from the common, the common consensus of it being flat to a globe. I don't know.
Well, can I bring forth the fact that if electricity used to be free when they harvested it from the air, how come today we get electricity from wires and we pay per house? So wouldn't knowledge have value?
Oh, whoops.
And how you organize that knowledge have value? If people knew they could harvest electricity for free, do you think that they would pay, $100 a month for electricity bill?
Well, if they could harvest it for free, no.
Right. But they don't have the
used
knowledge
to
for that
put
right now.
antennas up in the air and they had electricity at one time.
But that's just an example. Like, if you know more, then you can avoid a lot of control that resides over you.
You can see in pictures from the 1800s on buildings, every building on the street had these points on them, little tiny antenna.
Oh, yeah.
That's all electricity.
Whatever. Isn't that something to do with it?
And lying about that too.
And potential reason why they might lie is they do get a lot of money to quote unquote study it, so they get millions of dollars. So that might be a potential
to study nothing.
They get millions of dollars, so that might be one potential incentive why they might lie if they're lying.
Yeah, to make CGI for you, for your viewing pleasure.
Keeps you entertained. You want to go to Mars now because next we got soon we have hotels on the moon, and then from there you can take your stop to Mars.
NASA is a branch of Hollywood, and what DC, the military arm, and Hollywood, the mind control arm.
Have you seen Spaceballs?
Disney is a partner with them in their studio.
And Space Force might be a TV show, I guess, right? If they're all actors.
There is no. Have you go ahead and sign up? See what they say.
Yeah. What TV show? What TV show are you? What imagination are you using now? What Space Force TV show are we missing?
Netflix or Prime? It's one of those two. Can't remember.
Yeah. Did they take a camera and show us space? When did that happen? Did they show us Earth going?
You gotta watch it. It's the best show ever. They just make fun of Globe Earth, really.
Is that guy still in here? Because I was going to ask him if he's ever seen Spaceballs, because they actually answered this question in that movie.
That is the best movie. That's a flat Earth movie.
Well,
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a movie called Spaceballs, and there's a scene with this king called Yogurt. Okay, and in this scene, he basically explains that the whole idea of space is marketing, so they can sell you toys, they can sell you movies and video games, and it's all just a way to make a buck. If they can replace your reality with something that's more surreal, then they can make money off it. Because you're not going to be as interested in flowers, or digging a hole in the backyard and playing with your dog. You're going to want to watch Space Wars. You want to play video games. You want to do all these things that have nothing to do with your reality. They're going to get you mesmerized, hypnotized, basically.
Suppose.
I wonder
I
why
mean, that's
007 lies. I can't ask him, but when I see him in the other servers, Ron's server, he trolls in a completely different manner and makes fun of Christians and
Oh my
flat
God,
Earth.
dude.
Then when you come in here, you behave because you know you'd get kicked out. But that's okay. You guys continue.
So stop being toxic. We're having an actual decent conversation, and
That's fine. You can keep pretending. You guys continue. That's
I mean,
fine.
I suppose all the marketing behind space, it's only really happened recently. Like, when was Star Wars released? The first one, like 70 something.
Anyway, he is helping expose the lies on the live stream that for the people that are listening, because everything he says just
right
shot down.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm just saying that for some reason he acts a lot different in here than he acts in the other servers where, he's allowed to act like one of these crazy fanatics. Yeah.
Here, I put the clip from the movie right here.
All right. I'll take a look at it.
Where are you putting it?
Yeah. 2001 Space Odyssey, done the year before.
Yeah.
Moon landing. How about that one? How about Capricorn 1?
Sonny, how did they fake that? The 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yeah, how did they make it look so real in the movie? And gosh, that spaceship is sure more tidy.
Wait a minute. Sonny, I thought it was actually easier to go there than to fake it. I'm confused.
Yeah, unbelievable, right? Yeah, people, there's so much more that people don't know. Like, they just come to Flat Earth. If this is like your first little jaunt into the area of like the shape of your reality, if this is only your start, then just hold on, to your seats, because you've got there's a lot more that you don't know, because we had to dig through all of that stuff before you got here.
I see, yeah.
I think you guys have been doing it excellent on live stream. I was hoping maybe we could get like some of the quieter silvers to speak up a bit. If that's fine.
Yeah, of course. I hope that some of the other servers will join in, and yeah, I know that CI had posted in the voice text as well that if you are a little more shy, we can interject in the conversation so everybody can partake.
Because there's some flat earthers here who haven't heard from, like the Truth Acknowledged, haven't heard from them before. SV Black Swan, haven't heard from them before, but they're deafened.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Resolve in a while. I haven't heard from Napalm. Like, there's a lot of people that maybe we could see if they want to open up and say hi.
Sonny, they're sick of us.
Never. But that's just the point of what Precious Metal Takeover was, right? To get the quieter silvers. And we appreciate everybody, obviously, the contributions of everybody. You guys are super important. But maybe you guys can help us, the ones that aren't as, good with the arguments, to help us better round our arguments. If we miss things, then you can kind of help us along. So please stick around.
I know, Rad one, right?
Right.
Come on.
I was laughing.
Well, this isn't. Well, we're not saying to go away, but maybe
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I know.
But you guys can maybe help us maybe make other quieter silvers, maybe.
Yeah. Come on, silvers. Come on, all you silvers. Come on.
But I mean, if they don't have anything to say, they don't have anything to say.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah, but we still need to encourage it, right? That's the whole point of why this was created.
Hey, Napalm. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I appreciate you calling me out on being a quieter silver, but if you look at my roles, I ain't a silver, brother.
That's okay. Everyone knows the secret meaning of precious metals is actually mods have to mute.
Yeah, that's the secret meaning of it.
Well, I appreciate you calling me out.
So just the green tag is good enough.
Yep.
Right. I do appreciate you calling me out. I do try to participate when I can. I've just kind of been listening today in passing, so Whatever you want me to do. You want me to ask questions? What's going on?
What'd you learn today? Anything?
What'd you learn?
Whew. Just from the time I've been listening, I learned that the more people come in here and ask questions, even if they have very firm beliefs in the globe, like who was it earlier? Juju and somebody else were asking questions. The more that their questions don't get asked, they are answered. They tend to shift, which I think at some point the cog disc does kick in. But there's seeds that are planted there that are hard to dig out of your brain once somebody is taking you as deep as you guys take people into the lies or into the lack of empirical evidence that the globe has. It's like you just can't run from those things. And even though people might not be willing to give up their ball, they're still taking their ball and going home. Those seeds that have been planted in the brain itch, and that's why they keep coming back and they can't get enough. So the more we continue to do that, the more you guys, continue, all of us, in the line of questioning that we have, and kind of the methodology within, I guess it's almost a Socratic type questioning system. The more people just can't get those ideas out of their brains, and eventually maybe that switch will flip, and then we'll have very intelligent people who are very well versed as allies as well to continue to spread the truth. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
I'm just curious, since this server has been active, has there been any astrophysicist or anyone like that that's well versed in their field that's doing this? There has?
Yeah, in the arena. Quantum Eraser has debated people like that all the time, actually.
Yeah, we have special events for that. You have to have tickets for that event to sit in there.
Okay. Does it take place where? Like in this server, or like where? Because I like to.
We stream it live, but it happens right here. Yep. This is the pinnacle of the servers. Pinnacle of Flat Earth is right here.
I guess it's like debates on like a channel and it's streamed here.
Well, it just depends. What he was talking about was usually it's like a scheduled event. If Quantum Eraser does it, and they go into the arena or I think it's usually the arena, and they bring the live stream into there. So it is live streamed through YouTube, but you can come and join and listen live, but you can't participate because that's just the rules of the arena. It's a 1 versus 1 situation. But usually, like if now that you have the role, usually I think it's pinged to everybody, so you should be notified if it happens.
When's the next time that's supposed to happen? Does anyone know?
No, it's just random. It's not like oh, okay, every Wednesday or this. It's not. It's just sporadic whenever he has somebody, I guess, to debate that's come up.
I just put a message in chat of quiet flat earthers we would like to hear from. If you guys are here, it's completely optional, but we would really like to say hi to you and get you talking.
It's optional today, but next week you'll have to talk. No, I'm just joking. We do want to hear from everybody, so please, everybody, speak up. Enlightened Illumination has been DMing me like crazy trying to speak, but I told him to go to the VC check-in. But he's still sitting here. So if you can get yourself up to the VC check-in, I'll ping somebody for you, and they can give you the role after they speak to you. But you have to go to the actual room. I know he's driving, so maybe he'll be able to hear that. Okay. We didn't talk to Kangaroo yet today, did we? I don't think so. They're the only one I think that we haven't spoken to that's VC verified. Are you there, Kangaroo? Oh, okay. They'll be right there.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, welcome to the server. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Do you have any questions about the shape of the Earth for us?
Like, why do things disappear bottom first? I guess that's my first question.
Okay, so you're talking about on the water? What are you referring to?
No, like, it disappears bottom first, like everywhere. Why did that happen?
Okay, so and exactly how does that pertain to the shape of the Earth?
If the Earth was flat, things wouldn't disappear bottom first, and if it is round, there's like an actual the globe, the like curve of the Earth that's blocking it. So.
All right. So, okay, that's kind of a big thing. So you're making the claim that everything disappears from bottom up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And you're saying that that proves what exactly?
No, I'm not saying it like prove. I'm just asking how does it work on a flat Earth? Because on a globe Earth, the curvature is like obstructing it, but on a flat Earth, what is obstructing it?
Well, there's nothing necessarily obstructing it. Like if you do long distance observations over the water, you can zoom into the boat, right? So it's just how your eye perceives within the atmospheric conditions of that what you're looking at.
So,
right?
Yes.
So
yeah, Kangaroo, exactly. You can do small scale experiments on this topic for yourself, and I would suggest looking into the angular resolution limits of the eye, how the eye works, how perspective works, and then you can do small scale experiments to show how as the angular size of an object gets smaller, which is typically always from the bottom side because that's the closest towards that's the smallest angle within your eye, that things will start to quote unquote disappear from the bottom up simply due to perspective, meaning the angle that your eye has to the bottom portion of that object becomes so small that it can no longer be resolved and it kind of blurs into the vanishing point. So that would be a good starting point, is into the angular resolution of the eye.
Okay, so wait just a second.
So Kangaroo, Roger has posted a video for you 20 minutes after the hour in the live stream voice text. So you can watch that and you can figure out what's going on there. And he also posted one for you and tagged you at 21 minutes after the hour as well.
So I guess my next question will be, can you predict how much things would disappear?
What did you say? Predict things will disappear?
No, can you predict how much they will disappear?
Yes, all of them. When they disappear, they're all gone.
No, how much? If I go let's say a kilometer.
Well, you got to add something at this distance or at this altitude or at this thing. You got to add something.
Okay, let's say 1 feet observer height and 1 kilometer distance. So, how much would it disappear?
What's going to disappear? What are we talking about? An orange or Godzilla? What are we talking about?
No, let's say a 10-foot high object. Okay.
So a statue.
Yeah, anything, okay? Does not matter. So a 10-foot high object, and I'm the observer is at 1 feet observer height, and the object is, let's say, 1 kilometer away. So how much would it disappear?
So I think this would be a good experiment for you to do yourself, and you can do it, on a on a flat surface. Look into the angular resolution limits of the eye. Measure the objects in which you are placing at various distances, and see what you observe.
No, but like we have a value for the globe that's like around 8 inches per mile squared. So what is it for the flat Earth? So like
Okay, but did you listen to me earlier when I told you that it depends on atmospheric conditions? And then Napalm, I believe, said, yeah, that's his name. Sorry, said that it does have to do with your perspective, how far you can see, what your eye is actually able to see, right? So why are you asking the same question again?
No, but like perspective says that things will get smaller with distance, but like that's not what we observe. We see things disappearing bottom first. Perspective also says that
Okay,
things
but do
will
they
get
not
smaller.
get smaller as they go further? What claim are you making?
No, like the sun and stuff, sun remains the same size, but like disappears from the bottom first and stuff like that.
So, Kangaroo, this is why I'm saying this is a good opportunity for you to do your own hands-on science and do experiments. And what you will find is that the reason things, quote unquote, disappear or become unresolvable to your eye from bottom up is due to the angular resolution limit of your eye. And when you measure the angles to the bottom of an object, typically, always, that is the smallest angle that will reduce the quickest.
Okay, so I think Ranty did this experiment and around for like 100 meters, nothing disappeared.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah, like this is the thing. Now, okay, so we've answered your question and you keep changing it, and I don't know if you understand
No,
it.
he
So
just admitted he's a flat earther now.
well, that now, yeah, that.
Yeah, period. You're a flat earther, dude. You said you measured it and it's flat. So you're right.
What? 100 meters. Meters, not kilometers. Meters.
100 meters, 100 feet, 100 miles. It's all flat.
Oh, wait a minute. Were you expecting to see curvature at a few meters?
No, I was expecting to see the perspective change you were mentioning, and I think like you guys posted things.
Okay. Well, are we looking at things a few meters away when when everybody here shows you an example? Aren't they showing you things at a much greater distance than a few meters when they get smaller?
No. Wait. So you guys show an experiment, like an observation of a guy disappearing from the bottom first on a football field.
Okay,
Sure,
and continue, yeah.
And for a football field, I think that's around 90 meters.
No, look, I have something. Do you see the video? You need to do this. You need to go to the video and you need to watch it. And you need to go to 8 minutes, 29 seconds, where they're zoomed all the way out, and watch about just a couple seconds of they zoom back into a ship that had completely disappeared. Just do that now. You see the video?
Which one? Can you just like
I pinged you in the live stream voice text at 26 minutes. And the video's right there. Go to 8 minutes 29. That they're zoomed all the way out. Zoom all the way back in just a couple seconds, and you'll see the ship entirely. But the whole entire video is very good. How it analyzes the whole thing. It zooms in, it zooms back out. It shows these different lines and areas that are above the ocean, the more denser areas. So if you're not familiar with that, you need to look into this first.
Oh, okay, I'll look into it.
Mic check.
Yes.
Says
So
who?
Yes. So he mentioned earlier, or asked if there's any predictions that can be made, and he really needs to actually study and look into the Rayleigh criteria, which coincidentally has things being occulted or disappearing bottom up from about 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, coincidentally with the supposed Earth curve calculator that doesn't account for any kind of atmospheric, or let's just say perspective effects. So you should really look into diffraction and the Rayleigh criteria and see the commonalities between that and the Earth curve calculus.
Oh, can you just like name? I'll write it somewhere.
Sorry, say again.
Yeah, you broke up. Nobody heard you. Kangaroo.
Oh, okay. Can you repeat the name? I'll just write it somewhere.
It's called the Rayleigh criteria, and I can't spell it for you. I'm driving right now, but Rayleigh criterion, and also look into diffraction. Those two things,
Okay.
so you can really understand what perspective actually is. Because you live in a world where everything that you see is in your perspective, and respect to big differences to how far you can see, the conditions, and the angular size of the objects as they appear in the distance.
Oh, okay. So thanks. And so I also found some inconsistencies with the FE core test, and I think I'll discuss it.
Did you watch the part of the video from 8 minutes 29 to about approximately 9 minutes 30? You only have to watch 1 minute. You see the whole entire thing. And the horizon is still out
8
further
minutes?
and higher up. The video I asked you to watch, I posted it.
Yeah.
8:29 to
I'm just watching.
9:30. It's only 1 minute you have to watch. It
Yeah.
shows the entire thing. Boat's completely gone,
Yeah.
then zoomed all the way back in. Nearly 20 minutes later after watching the ship go out to sea.
That's
well
perfect.
after it vanished. Yep.
Yes. So, Kangaroo, you watch that, and we'll ask Enlightened Illumination. You finally have the VC verified role. Welcome.
Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. Real quick question. Is Discord Bluetooth enabled, or Bluetooth doesn't work? You got to have a headphone or speakers through the headphone jack.
What?
I don't know, but we can hear you fine. I'm not sure.
I think it's more so your device. I think your device is pretty much what determines whether or not you have Bluetooth capability, not so much Discord. But if your device has Bluetooth capability, you should be fine using it in Discord as well as anything else.
Oh yeah, it's just not working for me.
Hey.
Yeah, the Bluetooth wasn't working for me. But how y'all doing though? How y'all doing today?
Very well. How are you?
Awesome. Do y'all do experiments as well?
Of course.
Have y'all? Because I had this one thing, I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. But it'd be nice if somebody else can also do it. I've been, on the Facebook type side, which basically I got trolled out. But what I have is the concept that weight goes both ways. The idea that weight is only a linear downward is incorrect. Weight is up and weight is down.
Relative density.
Right. So basically, the weight of a balloon is actually more in water than it is in air. And then, in fact, it possibly could even weigh more than, let's say, a 5-pound rock. They're going to say it's displacement. I tell everybody that displacement is the same thing as the air pressing on you against the weight on the scale to give you the weight on the scale. And the water is displacing the air inside of the balloon, which is causing whatever they say, buoyant force, right? But it's still the weight of the balloon in the water. So if you get the hook scale, and submerge the balloon completely underwater, you'll see what the actual weight of the balloon in the water is. With helium versus oxygen versus, any other type of gas.
So you're talking about hooking up basically like a mechanical scale that would use a spring. So say you wanted to weigh a bushel of bananas, you would hang it on a scale that would pull down. You're talking about basically tying a balloon to a scale like that and taking it underwater and then seeing what the weight would be.
When it's completely submerged.
I have a pool. I might be able to help out on that.
Yeah, if you do that, that's going to give you the actual weight of the balloon in the water, which would be heavier, but in comparison to the direction of where they expected to go, based upon what their understanding of weight is, they have they have a discrepancy of understanding that it's not just downward, but it's an upward as well, because displacement is basically what happens when you have different forms of density, when it doesn't become merged into a set, meaning like water is like water, but when you have saltier water or a different grade of water, it won't blend in with the other water. You'll see that in the oceans where it separates its own self based upon its density, right? So that's the same thing that happens with like balloons or things that seem to defy, or you can call it anti-gravity, right? People get mad when you say that too. Like, if everything that goes down is due to gravity, everything that go up is anti-gravity. They don't like that idea. But the whole thing is, when you get underneath the water and you try to pull it underneath, they're gonna say, "Oh, that's just the weight of the water. This displacement, the weight of the displaced water." So the weight on the scale is the weight of the displaced air. If that's the case, you can't have it one way and not the other. If it's going up, that's still a weight in a different direction. The only way to measure it is to have it on a scale. People say, well, you can't trust the scale that way. That's now you just measuring buoyant force. No, if it's measured in pounds, then that's what the weight is. That's what the measurement is. That's what the scale reads. I mean, you can't say this, either the scale tells the truth or the scale is just telling a lie. Regardless if they want to call it buoyant force or not, it's giving a reading. The scale is designed to provide a reading. If it provides a reading, and that's what actually is what it weighs, regardless of direction. So I think that's one of the arguments that could be added. And plus, I'm a level earther. I don't really say flat earth. I'm a level earther because everything seeks its own level. That's what density basically is. The density separates itself and isolates itself individually. Everything pushes on each other. Nothing really pulls without a push. So those are little key informations that I always give out and try to always utilize. Because if you ever look at it, you can never really have a pull without an existing push. A push has to initiate a pull, and only for a pull to exist, it has to be tethered to a push.
I would agree with all of it. I mean, with the only caveat I would say is that the amount of force that you could measure, right, whether we use metric or standard or whatever it is, the amount of force that we measure would have to be in relation to the medium. So a balloon in water would provide more force that we could measure instead of, let's say, a balloon in a more dense gas, right, like a helium balloon in what we experience right now at ground level, which is a lot of nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, correct?
Yeah. But no, I wouldn't say that. See, the thing is because it's closer to its own density, meaning that, so the way that it works is the further away you are from your density zone, right? This is what I call it, density zone. The further away you are from your density zone, the more exertion you'll feel against you to go back to your place of where you belong, right? So the water is further away from the density zone than it is for helium balloon and air. Okay, helium is closer to its own density zone when it's in the air than it is underneath the water. Does that make sense?
I'm cool with that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because when the air is pushing still, like, so when you got the balloon in the air is pushing against the balloon, and the balloon is actually pushing against the air to go to its level. Once it reaches its level, the amount of force that's pushing down on the balloon is equal to the amount of force that's underneath the balloon pushing up on the balloon, and that's why it floats. That's why it stays where it's at, because it's equal, so it's leveled out. It has found its equilibrium based upon the pressure zone and the density zone, which makes it seem as it's floating, but it's just trying to blend in and it's merged. You only can see it because of the balloon is there and present, that is visible.
Yeah.
And in fact, without the balloon, it'll actually go higher up. But the balloon's weight plays into its density, which creates another zone for that balloon due to the inside and the outside of the balloon. You know what I'm saying? So I did a little question. I said, so what's going to have the most weight underneath the water? Is it going to be air? Is it going to be helium? Or is it going to be hydrogen in the balloon? And basically, they all agree that it's going to be the hydrogen, but they're going to say it's buoyant force. I'm like, no, how are you going to put it on a buoyant force when I put the same milliliters of hydrogen, oxygen, and what you call it into it, right? If it's the same milliliters of gas, but one has a stronger, it's to tell you something. It's actually exposing the fact that there's actual power inside the medium itself that's trying to get away, to escape. It has further to go. It has higher to reach, meaning that the oxygen is not going to push as hard against the water as the helium, and the helium ain't going to push as hard as the hydrogen because the placement of where they belong at and the way that it's being pushed to be in its equilibrium zone. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I would agree. The only thing I would make an argument for is we're getting into kind of like the first law of thermodynamics here, where you use the word power, I would use the word energy. Energy is necessary to put an object or gas or whatever into an relative or I'm struggling to find the word that I'm looking for here. To put something into disequilibrium requires energy to begin with. So if you're going to take a balloon, you're using energy and force, right? Power, however you want to describe it, to drag that thing to the bottom of a pool.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna take effort. It's not gonna be easy to get it there, to get a reading because it's not supposed to be there in the first place.
Correct.
So yeah. I mean, I agree with the energy. It's going to take the power of you to put it down there, but the energy is consistent with everything in its element, meaning that the water has its energy, it has its density, and it's going to reject or it's going to obtain just the same way as the gas is going to do what it's going to do. That's just one of the tests. I mean, right now it's kind of weird because I'm driving and I'm not formulating my statements or my sentences as I generally do. But I feel like this is a good test that we can say, because have y'all been over or discussed the topic of density zones?
Not so much, but before you go on to density zones, I just want to say I think you're absolutely right. And the whole determination of this thing, that a force has to be able to do work. And the buoyant force is actually an actual force because it can do work. You can lift like ships off the bottom of the ocean, with this force, right?
Like that stuff, Dave.
And like you said, you can change the whatever, like the different gases, and they'll go up at a different rate, right?
Right.
Yeah. So absolutely. So right. So this force can be shown to be able to do work. That's all I really care about. I mean, there's other intricacies, no doubt, but.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, so many different tests and variations, that we can do. Like, everybody always would like to do the vacuum test, like in the vacuum. But I always say, but the vacuum is in a containment, right? So there's no way that you can form a vacuum without a containment. So why you keep trying to do a vacuum experiment when you still basically utilizing a form of containment in order for your thing to be successful? So you have to have an agreement that containment is necessary for pretty much everything.
Hold on, says who? Hold on, says who? You're like dropped out or something. I'm sorry about that. We didn't realize we were stepping all over you, but we couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
got it?
say it again. Yeah, that's better. It's still kind of dropping out. It's probably your settings, your mic sensitivity or something.
Well, I'm driving in the middle of Kansas, so if I drop out, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. You're in one of those wide open spaces with no connection. I get it.
It makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
But no, you're right. Actually, what we need, you're 100% right. 100% right about the what you would call pressure zones or density zones, or what the globers would call, pressure gradients, and you can only have that in a contained pressurized system. So.
See, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I know we only have 15 minutes left, but I mean that's still time. But I was just gonna interject while the space was open and just say, I love the fact that we've been hearing a lot of new voices today. Enlightened Illumination, welcome to 24/7. We're very, very glad to have you here. You clearly know what you're talking about. I was glad to hear Says Who. And a couple of others. Right, Napalm. How could I forget? I was happy to hear Napalm again, and I'm just glad we were able to actually get a variety of voices this time. So for those who talk today that usually don't on Precious Metals, thank you so much. That's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to give my thanks and appreciation for the variety.
Thanks, CI. Yeah, and shout out everybody. It's good to see you. I know you spoke at the beginning as well. But yeah, Enlightened Illumination, that was really interesting. It's kind of funny. I was somewhat thinking similar about that the other day, and how, yeah, even like we become so buoyant, right, in water and just different things. It's really interesting. So yes, it's good that you have found the server and joined us. So would you mind sharing how you came to the realization that the Earth is flat in your journey? We always like hearing that.
Well, it's hard to say. I've always been opposed to what they've been doing. So it's like before it was even on YouTube and everything, I had a different form of understanding of the nature of this world that we live in. Just like what we was talking about, buoyancy and density and containment and for everything. I mean, I pretty much was understanding. Yeah, his bump about to come off. Let me move faster so I can get past him. But it's just like the pressure system and everything. Like I was talking about before, you can have a container, put the density levels in the system all together, and then it floats. And then if you squeeze on it, add a little bit more pressure at the top, it's going to drop. It changes the pressure ratio, and then it alters what was seeming to be buoyant at first to be more dense based upon the pressurization. So once they start talking about space and in classrooms, I didn't believe none of it since the beginning because none of it made sense. It didn't make sense because you get on a roller coaster ride or the little, what is it, the spaceship, and then they spin you in a circle and you stuck to the wall. I mean, if the wall wasn't there, you'd be thrown off. So everything that they try to teach is like backwards. And it's asinine. So I mean, I've always been particular about the information I receive about what we actually live in, the process of what we understand. Because it's more than just, it's just a flat earth. No, it's about the dynamics of socialism and conversations between people, what ideals are, and the whole thing is the earth ain't the world. The world is the conversations and the contemplations and the observations of what people and animals and stuff do. That's what the world is. The world has nothing to do with Earth. Earth is just what it is. So when people understand that the world and the Earth is two different things, I think that's when a lot of things are going to change. When everybody considers, look at if you think about it, whenever they tell you about, this is the world, they show you a globe, and I'll tell you, they right, because what goes around comes around. So yeah, the world is a globe, but the Earth is flat, or the Earth is level, right? Because the world and the Earth are two different things. One has to do with environmental mindsets, like the connectivity of ideas and consciousness. That's the world. The Earth has nothing to do with that. The Earth is a physical feature that we can feel, touch. You can't touch the world. You can be manipulated and directed and influenced by the world, but the world is not really a physical thing. It's just a space where consciousness lives.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like we live in the world, but we live on the earth. Two different things. Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody allowing me to speak today. I do have to run here shortly, but I wanted to say, Enlightened Illumination, great points, man. You have really good ideas, and I'm willing to help you if you want to do just some small scale experimentation when it comes to things underwater. Like I said, I have a pool where I could maybe figure out a way to do something at a small scale, and I'm willing to work with you on that and just see what we come up with, see what we measure. But yeah, man, you have really good points, and I don't know if you're familiar with who Ken Wheeler is. I know a lot of people on here know who he is. Some agree, some disagree with him. But a lot of what he says for the nature of our reality is that it can all be boiled down to pressure mediation, force and motion, inertia, and acceleration. And these are the basic building blocks of everything that we experience. So if you haven't checked out Ken Wheeler, I would strongly suggest looking into him, and even how the same rules apply to electricity, magnetism, dielectrics, all that. It's very interesting stuff, but I really appreciate your input, man. Very insightful. So I know you hit me up in DMs. Just hit me up again. We'll see if we can figure something out. Maybe go from there. But yeah, it's Napalm.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so maybe we can hook up and do something. And yeah, I appreciate you guys having the show today. It's been great, but I gotta dip out.
Before you head out, we see the acceleration. He ain't talking about like a disc that's accelerating through space in order to create, or we talking about by acceleration. Oh, he gone.
Acceleration, but the basic physics definition of acceleration.
Oh, okay.
I would suggest you just kind of dive into some of his videos. He's a little eccentric, to kind of say the least. He's not confirmed a flat earther or anything like that, but he makes very poignant arguments when it comes to kind of the nature of reality. So his name's Ken Wheeler. You can find him on YouTube. If you type in Ken Wheeler, it'll pull up his channel. It's actually Thoria. I can't remember. Thoria Apophosis, something like that. You'll see it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
no worries.
Thanks for joining us today, Napalm. It was great to hear from you, and hopefully we'll see you back soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We really loved your input, Napalm. You were excellent today, and I would really love to see you again next week, because we host this program every single week from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern, and you did amazing. I think the change of pace from regular live stream is why I personally really love this program, and it's really good to also interact with our own community, and I think this Precious Metals allows us to do that. So anyway, I'm not going to hold you any longer. Have a wonderful day, Napalm and Enlightened. You two are amazing, and we would love to see you back again.
Yeah, thanks, y'all. Take care.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay, so we have Queen of Conspiracy. As we verified, they also have Coliseum seating. Are you there, Queen of Conspiracy?
Hi everyone, what's up?
Hi, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well. So what brings you to the server today? I guess you've been here before?
Yeah, I was just listening to your conversation, but I'm actually looking for somebody because I'm a Twitch streamer and I interview people normally, and someone recommended a lady called Kai. I'm not sure who that is, right? So they were like, yeah, she has a podcast, so it would be good also for her, because then she can plug her podcast, you know, because my streams get around like 6,000 people a day. So it would be interesting for me to have her as a guest, and I'm sure it would be beneficial for her to plug her podcast and get like a new audience, you know what I mean?
Yes. I don't think she's online right now. My computer is lagging. But yeah, we can definitely connect you two.
I mean, even you would be great. The only reason I'm looking for more females is because obviously my audience is mainly guys, and they're more drawn to listen to women. It's quite unfortunate, but they really are. Do you know what I mean? And so it's like it gets more traction when I have females come on rather than males. So you would be great to come on and share your story and how you got into flat earth and what was your like realization moment. And you know, if you're up for it, I'll add you here and we can discuss further.
We actually have a program every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern called Ladies Night. That's a very similar concept if you'd like to participate on it.
Yeah, I'm in Europe, so that's like...
Oh, that's pretty late.
You know,
yeah. So that's going to be, what, because it's 4 my time, so that would be about, what, 10 your time? 10 p.m.? Yeah. But yeah, if you want to send me a DM or add me, that's for sure. We can definitely have a chat and get to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah,
and
that sounds great.
Yeah, for sure.
So...
How did you, I guess you know that the earth is flat then, or where do you stand on that?
I'm uncertain of the shape of the earth at the moment, and that's why I kind of made friends with a few people in this server to kind of get more awareness and knowledge and also speak to different people, you know, and this is where I am right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know that, I don't know if anybody's told you, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the server, there's additional information and there's tons of links, but I know sometimes it is better to have a conversation. So do you have any specific questions for us right now? We have 4 minutes before this segment is done for the show, but I mean, we can still continue to talk after that.
What is this segment? Because I've come in here quite a few times and I see that there is a voice chat pretty much every day. What is different about today in comparison to any other day of the week?
Okay. Go see.
I'm sorry. Okay. Precious Metal Takeover is basically an event that lasts from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern or 12 to 2 Central. And basically, it is a program where silvers and golds are encouraged to speak, and we try and allow people who don't usually speak on live stream to kind of hone in their debate skills. Sometimes when traffic is a bit lower, we also allow people who are regular flat earthers. We also allow VC verified, such as yourself. And basically, it's a program to, I guess, magnify the people who don't usually speak. And this program ends in about 3 minutes. And we host it every Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get. And I think that's great actually, because you know what, it is quite overwhelming when there are so many people sometimes, and people get nervous. So this is actually a great concept that you guys have right now for this, because I know it is very overwhelming to speak on a platform with many people listening, especially if you're not used to it. You know.
Yes.
Well, me and Redford are hosts because, okay, I'm sorry to expose you a bit like this, but basically, we're both very anxious and apologetic, so basically, we're the host and co-host to try and make ourselves more assertive. And honestly, it's kind of working, so I'm very grateful that we're the host and co-host. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, if I may interject a a little bit because I'm enjoying it. I mean, if it's feeling fluid and you guys want to continue it past a couple hours, I'm totally cool with that, and I'm sure some of the moderators are cool with it as well. I mean, it's kind of like ladies' night is a little fluid, and so we can actually make that happen too. So, I mean, it's like if new people jump in towards the end of the show, you're just like, oh, sorry, you just jumped in right at the end of the show. Just make it fluid, and just want to point that out.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good suggestion. Yeah, because ladies' night is kind of like that. So, yeah, thank you for that.
I don't think the mods. I mean, because it's really cool. I mean, it's like, even though we all want to jump in, I'm just like, oh yeah, we just want to hammer everybody, sometimes. But at the same time, it is. We hold back so that other people can, stretch their legs and get out there and have a thing. And I know it's the end of it's not the end of the show. I don't want to. It doesn't have to be the end of the show. That's what I'm saying. If you guys feel like new people are jumping in, it doesn't necessarily have to be a 2-hour show. You can stretch it along. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think the mods would have a problem with that. I mean.
I really appreciate that a lot, actually, because usually I just want to say, oh, it's 3:00, gotta go. But okay, so this is slightly personal, but I'll make it quick. My real life friend group recently kind of abandoned me. I was turned into a social outcast because of certain political positions, and I'm not going to get into that, but basically what I realized, and this server is the only constant in my life, really, because this server always has my back, and I'm very grateful.
Well, it's just like you guys were trying to end the show, and it's like, oh, it's only 2 hours, and then this new person comes in and has some good questions. You're obligated to end the show at the top of the hour. Freaking just go ahead. That's all I was saying.
I'm very grateful because I've had a rough week, and usually when I'm in a bad mood, I'll shut myself away, but that's usually a bad idea. So I've tried the opposite approach, and it's really helped a lot because I'm reminded that there are people here who appreciate, I guess, me as an individual, because sometimes I feel like that.
None of the moderators or admins here are trying to say, "Oh, precious metals, we want you guys to freaking, get in the deep end." You know what I'm saying? Do it. Come on, man. So anyway, that's all I was saying. I'm gonna shut up now. So who was that you were talking to? I didn't mean to interrupt. I just knew it was about to end, but it doesn't have to. That's all I'm saying.
Queen of Conspiracy. And thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, you guys are great. I love it.
Yeah, thank you, Helio. That was very kind. Does anybody else have any other suggestions or anything? I kind of want to open it up to the mods too and admin. Sorry, CI.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. That's my suggestion.
Thanks.
Neil's backing me up. It's don't try to end the show because you think you have a time thing. This is you guys are doing great, man. No, you guys were talking to someone else.
I will say though, I do want to say more is not always better. Though I'm not saying you should shut it off, but I'm just saying as long as the flow is organic. But sometimes more is not always better, because I remember there was a ladies' night. I don't know how long they went. What was it, 6 hours or something?
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
That got
but you don't have to just be like, if the talk is going good and it's coming to the top of the hour, just go as long as you guys need to, and then end it when you need to. We'll do whatever is necessary. It was good. I mean, it's still good. I was just letting you know. You don't have to end it. End it 2
you
hours.
had good continuity going till we interrupted it.
Yeah, it was me. I mean, it's my problem. But they actually started talking about, we're going to end it. Now, that's why I want to say, hey, you don't have to stop talking to this person just because it's top of the hour.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it so much.
I do too. Yes, thank you.
I have a question / suggestion, maybe, but I don't know how much you guys pay attention to the metrics or the analytics of this particular server, but it seems like at Ladies Night there's more action, and maybe it's just because it's Ladies Night, or does it have to do with the time of day that the show is? Because could we move Precious Metals to a later time? Are more people on Discord in those hours, or I don't really know. Just curious.
I mean, the time, that's like, there's no reason there's nothing to stop us from switching the time. I don't even know how this time got picked, quite honestly.
I could tell you the story if you want. So,
does it have a happy ending?
Yeah. The happy ending is Precious Metals, because that's how it's created. But, so originally, do you remember, India, when I asked you if I could host silver meetings shortly after receiving gold?
Yeah. Yeah.
It evolved into 2 silver meetings a week. Now, looking back, that's kind of crazy, but we actually had a lot of ground to cover. We had the debate tips, VC check-in tutorials, what it means to be silver, all kinds of stuff. And we had one Wednesday, 1 p.m., and Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. So, obviously, the Saturday meeting got turned into Precious Metals. And basically, this was a suggestion, I think it was from Dandelion and Crypto, who really wanted it, and I offered to host it. But how these time slots got chosen was because I'd actually I had a little Excel sheet, and I'd actually look at how many silvers and Spartans were online. And this was actually the time slot that was most commonly available, believe it or not.
As far as Ladies Night goes and the Precious Metals thing, I mean, it's everybody shows up at the time. So why would you want to change? Someone was asking to change the time slots. So that's we've been doing this for months now. Why would somebody want to change the time slot?
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
See, I'm now in Ramsgate, UK. I came properly now, in this moment. And I'm on the beach and on the quay. And now I will post 2 pictures. I'm so excited. That's all. I will post the picture. You will see now.
Okay, thank you, Sasha, for your input on the times of Ladies Night and and the Precious Metals. Hey, Sasha, have fun. Get some good pictures and send them to us. But anyway, yeah, I think the time slots here, and if anyone has some ideas for some new shows, any ideas for... we're kind of limited in some of the aspects of... Flat Earth is one thing, right? What's really cool about this server is that we have constant new members, right? So that we have a scheduled time where ladies only talk to the new members, and even today, new members were joining, and it's been pretty awesome, right? It's new people came in and it's what is this? What is this? So sometimes they're not familiar with Discord. Sometimes they're very familiar with Discord. They're just hey, my friend invited me from another server. Tell me to shut up if I'm bloviating.
No.
So sorry, can I just say something? You sound like a singer Helio, you sound like a singer, like a famous singer, and I can't figure out who it is.
Do you want me to sing?
No, you do. Is it like,
He can sing for you pretty well.
No problem. No problem. The band's already warmed up.
Well, I mean, it's just like when I just start talking. I mean, I'm curious about what people think about these. I've been trying to get this going on. Ladies' night originally, I think it was my idea. I don't think it was anybody else's idea but mine. But anyway, so we had that. We have that going on now, and then the precious metals. It might have been C's idea or whatever. So we're just. What I was saying is that we can make this happen for different ideas, different projects, or. I mean, whether it be 30 minutes, half hour, just like, hey, boom, live stream's dedicated to this. As long as I know, boom, it's all in there. So anyway, I know I think I'm not the most articulate, but yeah, I can sing, but I'm not the most articulate person. That's all.
You have a radio voice, though. You have that's why it rings a bell, and I can't figure out who it is. And I'm not American, but it's definitely like a iconic singer, and you sound literally hearing your voice.
It's probably really more the microphone than my actual voice, but anyway.
No, I'm telling you, I can't figure out who it is. And you know when it's irritating me. Hopefully, it comes to me though.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt the precious metals stream, but I actually want to encourage what I was going to say to Redford, and I already said it. Redford and C. Dude, if the conversation is flowing, go over 2 hours. Let it flow. Let yourself go. Slow and low. That is the tempo. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yes, thank you. And that's actually I appreciate that quite a bit. So that will be helpful. And then we don't have to abruptly stop in the middle of the conversation. We won't. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just let it go, man. We're a free form here, basically.
Mm-hmm. And then when the conversation's done, then we'll just end it. So that's good.
You know what I really like? You know what I really like is UNC on point. Noon or no or depending on right at 12 o'clock. It's just like precious metals. You're just freaking enthusiastic. Oh, this is our show. I love that. I love the enthusiasm. So it's freaking cool. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy it. I'm honored. I was happy when CI had asked me to co-host. So
oh man, when he told me you were co-hosting, I was like, yes, that was the right pick.
Oh, nice. Thank you. That's kind.
You guys do great. So,
well, here's how I picked it. Right, it had to be someone who was funny, timid, and it also had to be someone who
charismatic.
Was active and cared about the server as much as I do. And honestly, like when I was thinking, because there was no way I could do this on my own, just saying. But I wanted someone who understood this, who saw the server in a similar lens that I did. Oh, I love the server, but I'm scared. But I love it, but I'm scared. But
shit, I can't do shit by myself either. That's why I got Ron Shekelson on my podcast. It's like this dude will just talk and talk forever because I can't do that. But I just feed off of Ron, when we do shows together. I just kind of feed off of him.
Yeah, he's awesome to talk to. I didn't know that you had a podcast too, Helio.
No, me and Ron did 25 episodes of a podcast. It's on my channel. Go back and listen to him.
Yeah, I will actually. I didn't know that. That's cool. I will check it out.
Redford, the FE community was very different. Even even 2 years ago is completely different. Now, I wasn't in this server, obviously. I wasn't in the 1.0 because I was scared shitless. Excuse my language, but eventually Jose invited me in March of 2020. But like, it was very like, it wasn't like it is now where anyone can just open up their mic. It was very like podcast oriented. Like, it would be like someone like ODD, and he would invite like a couple of people on. Like, it was nothing like it is today. And I think we've come a very far way. I think we've become better. Like, this server is amazing. We have 30 people, 40, 50 people every single day. It is amazing. You know how difficult that is to maintain a live stream like this? Helio, I gotta give you props for actually being able to have a 24/7 live stream. I mean, sure we have technical difficulties from time to time, but we actually pull it off, and that couldn't be done without you.
Well, I mean, it's not about me. It's just like I've opened up the platform, and you guys make it happen. I'm more the producer. It's not about me. It's about us. We get freaking like 1,500 to 2,000 views every single day. So, you know, that's all everybody else. You know, it's not about me or anyone else. It's like, it's about me. I bought a computer. I live stream 24 hours a day. And we get 1,500 views a day. So,
hey, Julio.
Julio? Who the fuck is Julio?
Oh, I thought that was his name. I thought y'all just.
Oh, it's Helio.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, it's Helio. Helio's skeptic. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, what's your question? What do you got?
Because I was running a 24 live a couple of times for a while. After X amount of days, do YouTube shut it off, or do you got to reset it or stop it and restart it?
I've actually had the channel shut down. I have a backup channel, but I've actually had them shut down my main channel one time. And for a week, I had to stream off another channel. I actually stream on Twitter and DLive as well. But yeah, what was your question?
No, my question was, because like I do 24-hour live stream too. So, but mine every couple of days or whatever. If I don't pay
what's the content? What's your content? News?
No, I do music.
Oh, music. All right, so you're just playing music on a 24-hour live stream, like recorded music?
No, I got a bunch of people who it's like podcasters and people who like for music, rappers, songs.
So
they're
actually live playing music.
No. It's not playing music at all. They just cover like artists and the music they make and stuff like that. So it's just
something totally different than what we're doing here.
I created a live stream for, yeah. I got a bunch of content creators that I made a 24-hour live stream that I just play their information, their podcast, their this, that, and third. It's just every once in a while, it just goes offline. Then I just somebody calls me and say, "Oh, you know it's offline." What? Now I gotta set it back up.
So what's your question for me as far as the 24/7? So you're which platform are you using? Are you using OBS to play? Which what are you using? OBS. All right, so you're playing pre-recorded music and podcasts over a channel, 24 hours a day.
I got all permissions. I mean, the permissions is granted, so I don't have the permissions problem. I was just wondering if it's if you found out, because it's not always consistent. It's just every once in a while it just goes offline. I mean, it's not the channel's not disrupted. It's just that I gotta go back up there and reset everything and and put it back on live again? Like, is there like a time period, or
on YouTube? If you're broadcasting YouTube 12 hours, you have a 12-hour limit. You have to restart it every 12 hours.
Oh, okay. Word. Well, I must have got over. One time I had 8 days.
I mean, if you go over 12 hours, it won't archive the videos on YouTube.
Okay.
Twitter goes further than that. Twitter, which used to be, Twitter bought out Periscope, and you can capture the video like 24, 25-hour videos. It was like, who's going to download 25-hour videos? But anyway, but yeah, YouTube. If you're streaming on YouTube, they will. I'll tell you what happens if you forget to stop your video, and it goes 24 hours or whatever. That video won't be able to be accessed by you or anyone else unless you recorded it. Unless you recorded it with your OBS. But if you go about 14, 15 hours, if you go over 12 hours to about 14, 15 hours, then you can go ahead and capture those videos. You can stop it on your OBS. Make sure it's stopped on your I use Restream, but you just want to make sure that when you stop it on OBS, it's stopped on YouTube. If you want those videos archived on YouTube, you can't let it go over 12 hours.
Oh yeah, I wasn't worried about it being archived on YouTube. I had all the content already off a hard drive.
Well, that's what I do. That's what I do here on 24/7 Flat Earth Discord Live. I do the best I can to archive the videos because I stop and restart the videos every 12 hours.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nah, sometimes I just be MIA, and then I'll be out doing something else, and I'll be getting calls like, "Hey, the live ain't up no more." I'm like, what you talking about? You know, it's just when the live.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, last night I woke up this morning and it wasn't live anymore, and then I pulled up my live stream and it was still going, but it wasn't going on YouTube. But you know, I think that was a complete computer glitch. You know, hey, we're live now, so. Yeah, I mean, it just happens sometimes. I mean, it's just like it might have been the PC, it might have been some fucking internet thing or whatever.
Yeah,
we're back live.
But thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm gonna just stick to the 12 hours. I keep that as a rule, and you maybe ever.
Well, hey, if you ever need any help with getting your OBS set up or whatever, I'll help you out, bro.
Oh yeah, appreciate you. No, I know I'm good with what you call. I mean, I still hit you up and find out more because I be using OBS for 360. I create 360 rooms. Put you in a room with somebody else, and it seems like y'all in a room together.
Yeah, you guys probably know more than I do about this shit. I feel like I put up a platform and then I'm like comfortable with it. Now I'm getting kind of lazy, but that's okay. People seem to like it.
That's why I was asking because I was being lazy, so that's why I probably kept getting cut off because I wasn't paying no attention. I sat it and forgot it. Then it wasn't running. Like I got a remote desktop started back up again.
Yeah, it sometimes happens to me too. You know, it's just like when I woke up this morning, it was like, oh shit, I'm not live now, and I'm like, what the hell happened? But that was probably more of an internet glitch than something to do with a computer. So sorry, but I fixed it. And we're back live. Same thing.
Chat has spoken, and apparently, apparently Chat has spoken. And remember my Helioskeptic drawing? They want me to update it and add a sombrero to it and name it Julio Skeptic.
Nick.
And I'm gonna do it at some point. I'm going to mark my words.
See, you guys should have shut me down as soon as I started talking. I promise you should have.
No,
not at all.
It's okay, Julio skeptic.
Holy shit.
Julio.
I don't even want to see it. Oh my god.
It's not. I haven't made the drawing yet. We just came up with the idea. But I will make it at some point. Julio skeptic. I can't wait. It's gonna have a sombrero and maybe maracas.
Damn. I see that. Oh my god. It's like a. It's like, now I'm embarrassed and I wasn't. It's like, should I be embarrassed? I mean, a lot of people like, should I be embarrassed? I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Black culture.
Dude, but to be honest, when you put yourself out there, be aware that you're always embarrassed. You're putting your ass out there. You know what the embarrass means? To be bare-assed, right? The M means to, bare-assed, right? To be bare-assed. So when you put yourself out there, it's embarrassment, right? You expose yourself. I'm gonna put my ass out there. That's what we're doing. So I don't care what you think about me, to be honest. I do care what people think about me, but to be honest, I'm not, in the colloquial sense, embarrassed. But I do care what people think about me. That's all right.
Are we gonna have to get Gospel Bear here because we're arguing semantics now?
Yeah, let's see if he can actually figure that shit out. But I mean, it's not like I haven't actually, like embossing, right? When you emboss something, you're putting your lettering on something, right? Embossing. So, am I if you embarrass, then you're. I don't know. I guess you're right. We're gonna have to get Gospel Bear in here. See if we're actually embarrassing ourselves by speaking our mind. I'm not embarrassing myself by speaking my mind, and no one else is either, right? I'm being a joker right now because nobody that speaks their mind and has the guts to do it, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. If you have enough guts to put yourself out there, you're not embarrassing yourself. No matter what anybody says about you.
Wise words.
So is anybody in here think they live on a ball? Sorry, CI.
Yeah, okay.
Thought it was a dead air.
We're having some motivational speeches.
I'm motivating.
I think Dave Hickle has better motivational content than I do.
You're motivating me, Julio Skeptic.
Oh,
Julio
shit.
Skeptic.
That really scares the shit out of me, man.
What? Happy birthday, Julio! Oh,
well, whose birthday is it?
I'm sorry, I'm such a child. I saw Gibby gets comment and chat, and I just laughed. Happy birthday! Yeah. Happy birthday, Julio. Jenny, you missed it. Enlightened Illumination accidentally said Julio instead of Helio, and now it's becoming a meme.
Oh no!
It's my favorite Julio.
I didn't make a big deal out of my birthday. It was in June, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm Julio.
Julio, yeah. What's up, man?
I'll freaking own the Julio thing. I mean, where's Jose?
We do need Jose.
He's missing this shit, man.
Let me message him right now. He'll see it once he gets on, because me and him have been playing COD Mobile a lot lately.
Well, should we go? I'm still recording the Precious Metals. So I guess I can stop.
I don't laugh this hard usually. It's something this silly, but sometimes you have to be a child in life to truly enjoy it.
I agree completely, 100%. I see kids in the grocery store all the time because I work there, and the kids, you know how they are. They'll just stand and turn around, spin around in a circle, and they have fun and they're giggling. I mean, why don't we do that?
Hey,
For real.
sometimes we do on here. I mean, don't. Are you saying we don't?
I should.
We do on here sometimes. It's okay. We just
I
make
should act like a
jokes
kid
and cut
more.
up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes we're serious about, it's not about beliefs. Now, this very serious topic about flat Earth versus globe, a lot of people don't take it seriously. Now, whether or not it can affect our future or our jobs or anything, this discussion, this is ours. We own this. Now, in this server, we can discuss it however we want to and regulate it however, So I think it's very important how it's perceived, and since we're live streaming it, of course, in the YouTube chat and in Roger's YouTube, it's important how it's portrayed. But I'll tell you what, I love the comedic aspect of the ridiculousness of the idea of the globe. A lot of people don't get it because it's so enamored in their psyche that the globe Earth, that we're the third rock from the sun and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to take the piss out of people, but we have to sometimes.
You know what I think? I think that the heliocentric model came about when microscopes was developed and they looked at cells. So they wanted to push it as...
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Because they think they can use a microscope to look into what humanity is, and they can use the same type of technology to look up into the sky just with a bigger lens, right? And they can make some of the same assumptions.
Right, because they're going on as above, as below. So if you look into a microscope, you see the individual cells in a heliocentric shape, basically a circle, but it's still contained. That's one thing that they didn't really base it off of. Like it's a circle, but inside the, and you have the cell inside. You see.
Damn it, he's breaking up.
It seems like it's
He's going Samuel Robotham. Samuel Robotham, you're roboting.
Oh man, this phone. I'll probably restart my phone, come back in.
You're good now.
Oh, okay. It's probably because I'm driving. I got like 2 more hours of driving. But when they look through the microscope, they figured that we just the Earth is a cell, and we like microorganisms inside of a cell, and then they changed it to create whatever. Like space is empty, full of nothingness, and it doesn't even make any sense because nothing doesn't exist except for a word to describe something that you're looking for isn't there. That's what nothing is. Nothing is something that you're looking for isn't there, but it doesn't mean that it's empty. Am I breaking up?
No, that sounded good, man. We heard you.
Yeah. So basically, that's what it is. An empty void. It's a void. Ain't nothing there. And they saying that because whatever they're looking for, whatever they're expecting to be there, isn't there. So it's nothingness. It's just a vacuum of emptiness. But it's a whole bunch of stuff there that they just don't have comprehension of, and they don't know what to look for. That
is the silliest thing ever, right? It's like, how can nothing be there but everything be there, right?
Right. So they basically built heliocentric off of looking at a microscope and then building telescopes and saying, hey, it circles out there like it circles underneath the microscope when we're looking at single cell organisms or bacteria and all this stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I was bringing up earlier about life experienced on Earth. How can they actually compare anything that what they found out about humanity and the way that the Creator made Earth? Oh, somebody's pissed. Somebody's pissed.
Yep.
But anyway, how could they compare that to what they use radar telescopes and some optical telescopes? They can't really see very far. Despite what they tell you, if they have a huge freaking lens, they can't really actually see very far with an optical lens. And if they point it at the sky, they can't see very far. They're going to make a lot of claims. Most of the claims come from vast radar telescopes, like vast arrays, in South America and freaking South Africa. I don't know if everyone's aware of this. Me and Michael have talked about this, ad nauseum in the past. There's no optical views from a telescope on Earth that's going to prove anything about outer space.
Oh, there's no way. You can't really understand something being on something completely 100% because you're immersed into whatever your recognition is versus being an observer from a secondary standpoint. So once you're immersed in something, you only can understand it but so much because you're in it.
Well, even if you had, say you had access to the Lucifer telescope at the Vatican, it's one of the largest optical lenses. What is that going to tell you about the universe?
Nothing. It's not going to tell you anything.
It's not going to tell you shit about the universe. Pardon my French. You said nothing, but I said shit. It ain't gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
Right, and the funny thing is, they call it the universe, but they don't understand what they're saying, right? Because the universe is one verse, right? So everything, basically, this is where I come from. I come from everything was spoken into existence. Everything is a vibration. Everything is a frequency. Everything resonates at a certain frequency in its existence. Just like steam has a frequency and water has a frequency, kind of like all of that. Everything is a frequency, and they have like gravity, and it doesn't even make sense because You got clouds. I'm looking at all these clouds. I'm driving through rain right now, and then the clouds is above, the rain's coming down, and gravity ain't stopping the clouds from being, 2 million pounds floating in the sky.
This dude's almost repeating verbatim what I said a few hours ago. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
So they what they want to do is they want to get rid of God. Number one, they don't want it to be a creator, but they want to create themselves. It's just they just want to be their own gods. They want to be the creators. They want to be the manipulators and the controller of the people. Like they do all kinds of things. Like we walking around calling each other human. Like you're a color man. You're a color of a man, but you're not a man. You're human or you're mankind. You're kind of a man, but you're not a man. You're kind of a man, or you're color of a man. And every time that people start accepting these things, they diminish their ability to actually represent man. Women are man too. You know what I mean? But man is just is the people. The race is man. Not human, not mankind. And then when they start doing all these play on words and like y'all was talking about earlier, that's when everything gets convoluted. Because now, what are you, mankind? One step for man, another step for mankind, right? Why would you, if y'all wasn't separate, if they wasn't separating the people back then with the split space exploration, why would you take a step for man and then take another one for mankind? So people be like, why would they lie? Why would they make heliocentric? Because they controlling the populace through words. And some people say they're human. People say they mankind. Some people just say I'm not human nor mankind. I'm just man. That's one of the reasons why they push it. Because they want everybody to lose their identity and identify themselves as everybody else does. To give up their power, to give up their control, to give up their what is it? I had the word sovereignty. So once everybody start giving up their sovereignty, just like they do on these shots and try to push the mark of the beast, you know what I'm saying? You can't buy, sell, or trade without being inoculated. It's the same ploy. It's all a form